we've also got some video coming in right now from the Battery Tunnel, the Manhattan side. We told you about the water breaching Lower Manhattan coming in from Battery Park. If you know this area, Battery Park to the entrance of the Battery Tunnel, that's a couple 300 yards, if not maybe 400 yards, and this water is cascading its way into the Battery Tunnel. Never seen anything like this. This is unprecedented on all levels. And as Elise was pointing out, water finds its way to the lowest point and just kind of keeps on gushing. And that is really just something to behold.
Yes, this is the video that Elise was talking about that they captured once they left Battery Park. And I really cannot remember when we have seen water flowing like this.
Never.
In Lower Manhattan.
No,
I mean,
we
were just in this area, Maurice, for the Steven Siller Tunnel to Towers run, and this is where we set up shop. This is where our stage is set up to greet all of the runners at the finish line, and this is now inundated with water pouring into the Holland Tunnel, a tunnel thankfully that was closed earlier today. Officials closing it for everyone's safety, and this is their proof and the reason why.
And when we look at this water, we're talking about a record surge coming into the area by 2 feet. Lonnie predicted it, Lonnie called it, and here it is. You hope you're wrong in a case like this, but no way. This was evident from the get-go. You guys had your stats coming in, and you predicted it right on the money, Lonnie.
Well,
and this is the result.
When you had that sort of wind direction and those sort of wind speeds that were that strong to push all that water into the area, look, you're right. We talked about this for so long. My biggest fear was the water going underground in New York City, in the southern tip around Battery Park City, and that's what we're seeing. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You're dealing with the worst of it right now. I think that you're going to continue to crest out there. You'll probably pick up another 6 inches out of this storm surge, and then the tide starts to go out. As a matter of fact, the tide's still rising, guys. If you can believe this, it's going to rise for probably, I think I have another 4 minutes of a rise. So you just keep throwing more water on that. And then it's like throwing a baseball in the air. That baseball is suspended only for a brief moment at the very peak, and then it starts coming down. So the tide starts to go back out. And then by the morning, okay, by 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, right now you're going to peak, I think, at about 14 feet of storm surge.
2 feet above where it's ever been.
Okay, oh boy, way up there, you betcha. And then by the time we get to 9 o'clock in the morning, which is going to be the next high tide cycle, I'm predicting about 9 feet. Okay, so you're still above flood stage there, but it's not like this. You should be. My fingers are crossed on this, but if all the numbers we've looked at are true, it should be about 5 feet less than what you're going to have in about the next 10 minutes. That would be tomorrow about 9 a.m., and then like around 9 p.m. tomorrow night, you should be down to about, below flood stage.
Maybe this is a best case scenario that it goes into the Battery Tunnel than, say, the infrastructure. All right? I mean, it's not good, but it's better than it being.
Well, look, now I'm thinking of how things work down there. The water comes in and it hits that tunnel first. And are you saying this is going to avoid making it go down into the subway?
This is probably above our pay grade, right? But at least it's going into the tunnel and not underground into the subways and into the electric grid.
You betcha it's better to do that. I'm not disagreeing there at all. I just I'm wondering if that water though encounters a stairway going down to the subway before it makes its way to the tunnel. It's a bad situation getting that water underground.
No, it is.
Lonnie, you were talking about low tide hitting at some point, but there's no way that the waters can recede as they normally do. I mean,
no, you're clearly above water because you're clearly above average because of the storm surge. But here's the deal. If you're going to put wind against the tide will win. As strong as those winds can blow, the tide will win. I mean, as strong as those winds were, guys, before we put high tide on top of this, we weren't dealing with this. This is a case of the surge coming in at the absolute wrong time. All those strong winds came in when we had a high tide, an astronomical high tide, extra high because of a full moon overhead. Everything that could work against us has been working against us. I kind of like what Maurice is saying is, hey, look, maybe this is the best place that water could go. If we are putting it down into the Battery Tunnel, the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, as opposed to down to a subway, you betcha I think that's better.
But we'll have to see how that plays out.
I can't guarantee that, guys. I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah. Okay, Lonnie, we're looking for this water to recede at some point. We're going to follow this. We're going to follow every aspect of this story around the tri-state area. Sandy slamming us. We'll be right back.